because that guy is a handful to deal with when we are doing these live streams. But without further ado, I'm gonna make this one a quick one because I have to wake up at 7 o'clock and go to work. It's gonna be an early day tomorrow. Um, the thing I want to talk about today are going to be some cards you might want to pretty much buy prior to the set 14 release of set 14 and the ban list, because I know right now is a time where a lot of people are just, I guess, nervous, not really scared, just nervous of buying, trading, and getting cards, because you never know what could happen, especially when Bandai went ahead and phrased it, I guess, as a wide ranging ban list. Oh yeah, I forgot to put my video on. When they want to go ahead and range it or label it as a wide ranging ban list, which is it's a scary thought because man, a lot of cards people want to let go of, such as things like the Go SACTP Gogeta's going for the low. I've seen switching gears, Vegeta going for the low. I've seen a lot of stuff going for the low. I've been slowly scooping a lot of stuff up. But what I will tell you guys is one thing I followed with the ban list itself. There's only been one time when a new set came out and it directly got impacted by the ban list, and that was an emergency ban because of Ajax. Other than that, the new cards are usually safe, man. Like what happens is they tend to the set prior to the new set coming out. Those cards tend to be safe. Besides, obviously, that Draft Box 5, which slaughtered the entire. It was Analyza, the there's a and the robots. I forgot the other ones. There's the two robots that came up with that box. But other than that, everything usually is pretty safe. So let's look at Shenron's layer for a quick second. Most popular leaders currently. We can actually even do it by color. Because realistically speaking, I'm pretty sure the next I know red hasn't been revealed yet, but as of right now, King Vegeta is just taking that red spot because it's highly anticipated that something's going to happen to King Piccolo itself. So let's look at it. King Vegeta attacks with a bunch of essentially weenies. What cards can stop it? So obviously, you have in the mirror match itself. Let me pull it up. Imposing presence. So imposing presence, obviously speaking, if you're being attacked, you're being rushed, use imposing presence. Those 15k beaters turn to 10k beaters if you're awakened. They literally turn into a your leader will trigger next something else 10k. It gets a handful for your leader really quick. So realistically speaking, if you don't have your imposing presence, I would highly recommend that you get your imposing presence now. You also have alternative options such as is that all you got, which will just board wipe it. Period. Now, one thing I want to mention on is that all you got. It's a really great card, not so much for the mono red, but for the green red coming out. Because what happens is when they use this Piccolo, let me find it for you. The Piccolo with Alliance. Let me find it for you really quick. I probably spelled Alliance super wrong. Don't laugh at my spelling, guys. Yeah, there it is. This Piccolo right here. What happens is the Alliance is an auto. So, realistically speaking, when you use this Piccolo, you're going to use your auto, which is the Alliance, right? You guys are following me? When you use a card such as is that all you got to this card one and then blow up their targets, it's usually going to be the red green super combo, or maybe they'll have the Trunks TP in play. Whatever it is, all their alliance targets are usually under 15k. So what happens is if you use is that all you got to negate the attack and then pitch one and then blow up the remaining cards they have, they cannot use alliance. That ability is just gone, which is really good to stop that deck itself and put it in its tracks. Another one I always preach is these battle evolution negates. I just think these are safe. Like you should have a playset of these cards, not in your deck, but you should have access to a playset of these cards. And if your deck permits it, you should have it because literally there's still a deck such as Shiba Gohan, which is still to see. I guess we'll see on the balance if it gets answered or not. But for King Vegeta itself, imposing presence, if you're playing red, 100%. Now, if you're going against the green, if you're scared about green red, go ahead and use is all you got if you're playing red. Now, if you're going against blue, you have other options. Blue, obviously, you have the Senshi Bean, but a big card that will shut down the Weenie Onslaught is going to be. I don't know why I off click blue. Where is my bad boy? Yeah, this is type his name in. Even though there's gonna be infinites of these guys. Ding ding ding. It's striving to be the best Son Goku because it just puts a hinder on. Here he is. Bam. Striving to be a Son Goku. It's a barrier 2 drop. Came out all the way back from Clash of Fates. It's a permanent. Your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less cannot attack. So really speaking, it stops every single attack besides the leader, besides the Unicent, and both Vegeta. So switching gears and Vegeta to the next level. Really, really great card for Blue itself. Not only that, also against decks, which I'll get into later, such as the Gotenks. Not Gotenks, excuse me, Gogeta. I'll get into that in a little bit though. So, for green, obviously green, you have the answer within the dormants, and you have a bunch of stuff. Let's go looking at black. Black, realistically speaking, your only answer would be a card that got reprinted, which is Protector of the People. Once again, guys, if you don't have a copy of this card, I'd go ahead and just... these are safe investments that I want to point out to you guys right now. Protector of the People is something that you're really going to need, especially if that red-green, which is picking up in popularity a lot, because you can technically die turn 1 from red green, which is 100% completely insane. So you really want to be on your guard and have a place of these guys, because at any time they point when that deck pops off, this would be an easy buyout for someone to get it and just hoard onto them. Now everyone else is just SOL. SOL means shit out of luck for people who don't know. So you really want to have a card just in your, I guess, at your disposal itself. Now moving on to yellow. What does yellow have? I haven't played yellow in like months, dude. I'm trying to think. What in the world does yellow have that will combat Weenie Rush? I guess it would just be Nimbus, but that doesn't really combat it because man, yellow's just in a rough spot. So I'm 100% anticipating that Mega Frieza doesn't get banned. It just gets errata, right? We talked about this in our last Team Talk video, where when Mega Frieza gets errata to the once per turn, it's just going to be rough. Like, it's going to be really, really rough. Is the video just for black or anybody else? Is Hero going to be a flop? Hero is... I don't believe Hero will be a flop. I do believe people will toy with it. It's hard to really judge to see if Hero's going to be a flop or not until two things happen. The balance gets released and the rest of the set gets revealed itself. Because from that time and point, we actually look at it and it's like, okay, cool, this is what we have, and this is what this deck can do, this is what this deck cannot do. Let me put this as in pop-up chat really quick. Here we go. So I can still browse about the thing. Last word, is the video just going to be about black? No, it's not just about black. It's about general cards that you want to have going into this upcoming meta that you want to actually have before the ban list comes out itself too. Because like these cards, I tell you, they're not going to get hit. Another way to look at it itself, like a lot of people were calling, for example, this is a perfect example. A lot of people are calling for the ban of Heartfelt Plea, right? It would be so awkward for Bandai to have charged everyone, I guess, the $100 for this that collector's binder, just to say, hey, I'm giving you a card and alternate art, it's beautiful and everything, but hey, by the way, it's not playable because it's banned. That's all you know. So cards like Heartfelt Plea, save it. It's not going to get banned. There's little tidbits you can pick up from Bandai that shows you certain things are going to be safe. Like if you're to see they're making cards, for instance, like Yu Dark Broly, 100% is not going to get banned. The worst might get errated because there are cards that straight combat it. Now it's like that black it's like Kabito Kai, I believe. It says, I think it's you play it for one, you draw a card. And I believe the second auto is if your opponent has 3 or less energy and you can combo with this card and then bottom deck a battle card that has 30k power or more, which is like, it's super, super troll, but it's a way to, I guess, combat what is problematic in the meta without actually banning it itself. But it's little things like that you could pick up on. The same thing with Mecha. Mecha has another card itself. I forgot what it was. I was looking at it. It's a card that says something to the effect where when they use an extra card without using energy, I think you draw two, I believe it was. It was something like that. That's why I know like those two decks are safe. They're not gonna get banned. But let's get back into it. Yeah, but for yellow is rough, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how yellow really stops when you rush. Like I said, I haven't played yellow in a minute. I guess if you're playing yellow blue, you do have access to Sensu Bean because obviously Sensu Bean is a god card. But I'm thinking it's just Nimbus. Like I think you're just taking the L on that one and you're just Nimbusing because they don't have a card that I believe where it's just hey, or even a unison where it's just hey, you're not going to be able to do this. Yeah, man, that is rough. Oof, yeah, yellow. I would not want to be in a spot for yellow. All right, so let's go and see the next. So for blue, blue is really awkward, right? Because blue, we don't know what blue decks is going to be in the next set itself. But the thing we do know is already established blue leaders that we have for currently right now. We have Blue Baby. We have pretty much these four right here. Now, the thing about Blue Baby, honestly speaking, guys, I think this is just an outclasses Blue Baby. And a perfect example I could do that was the Pro Play Tour in Miami, where SS3 went completely undefeated. It tooled all its opponents and won that event. But the thing about that SS3 was playing baby stuff. So it's like, that's another reason why I tell you, in my opinion, I don't think the issue is really the Blue Baby leader. It's those floodgate cards, period. Now, SS3 is something that I don't know. I don't think things like SS3 can ever fully take control of a format only because we have a bunch of answers to SS3. Every color has these. I believe it's I forgot what they're called. They have two answers. They have like for instance yellow. I know yellows is a Whis. Ding 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 ding. It's a battle card. Let's see. Let's do by energy cost. Each color has two of these. Oh, here it is. It's this, and they have cunnings. I don't know where cunnings are. Each color has a cunning. I put it like that. And each color should have this. Besides black. When I say each color, the original four colors. It's red, blue, green, and yellow. I do not believe black has one of this. Black does have a cunning, I believe. It comes in the form of a ghost warrior. But this one, the red one, is Radix. The blue one is Borgos. The green one is a Kami. And the yellow one, obviously, is a Godly Destruction Whis. This is why I believe with blue is in a tricky spot, right? Because the thing about blue, even though it may be powerful, because people forget what it does, because it is a slept on color, because yes, it is easy to counterplay a blue deck, but with that being said, at the same time, when people stop playing certain decks, people tend to forget how powerful it is and tend to forget what to do to stop it. That's why when you had a deck such as SS3 just throwing the baby stuff, it goes completely undefeated and it wins an event because people are like, well, damn, I'm not prepared for this. Yes, it was great, but no one is playing it. So that's the realistic way of looking at blue itself. For blue decks, how would you stop like things like that? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like you would have to just go tall because against blue, it's just rough. Like I've been recently playing obviously Dark Broly, and the only thing blue that actually stops in my track is what just Baby Hatch. Everything else is just whatever. Like D Magic, all right, cool. And they get an attack, you lose a card from your hand because blue is really really weak to hand instruction. That's one thing blue has always had an issue with. Um, in my opinion, this is still an underrated leader. This is just my opinion, the Blue Dark Broly. The difference is instead of you singing for 30s, you're singing for 20. But the benefit is you get a unison and you also get a God Sealing, which is really, really good. So whereas in Dark Broly, like I said last time, and I preached to you guys last time, Dark Broly you should be maining the Super Kamehameha as 100%. The blue, you have access to God Sealing. Like God Sealing is just God tier. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the best free counterplay we have in the game. Disaster Dan said Red Starter deck Vegeta is gonna be great. Even before seeing the ban, yeah. That deck is gonna be nasty. Especially like that's what I'm saying. I don't really want to go into it too much because that off rip you can tell is gonna be great. Especially if the Red Piccolo Unison, the Piccolo Junior Unison, does not goes untouched. It's gonna be completely insane. Obviously, I think they're gonna use their. It's not gonna get banned. Obviously, 100%. Everyone's anticipating that the auto is going to be once per turn, which rightfully so it should be once per turn. I don't know how to say her name. We will have some guys joining on today, Wednesday, on Friday. I know Frisco was joining tonight, but his wife had him do something else, so he will be on Friday, and some other guys will be on Friday as well because some of them need to catch up on videos. All right, so green. The popular deck in green is King Cole. I'm sorry, I don't think any deck coming out from set 14 is going to outclass King Cole. I just think King Cole is the green deck going in. The green deck to beat going in to this next set. Now, one deck I don't want you guys to forget, actually, too, is this is for best of one, so I'm not going to really worry about that. We have the Boros. But another deck I want you guys to worry about is this Green Gold Tanks. Green Gold Tanks, guys, don't forget, it got pushed out of the meta not because it was bad, but because of Red Broly. Red Broly was a really poor matchup for this. Don't forget, you still have Grim Reaper, which is a dual attack deflect guy. You still have access to the free counterplay, which is KOs anything. I believe the charismatic, which is 5 or less. Completely insane. And you still have access to Dormants. Dormants is not going to get touched. Dormants is a winner. Dormants is a event pack. Dormant is going to get reprinted again when the next set, not the next set, but the reprints of its set comes out. Dormant is safe. That's another safe deck you're good to go on. And another deck I can see on a comeback would be Turtles. The thing about Turtles is it's a very budget friendly deck. But the thing about Turtles, when people hear budget friendly, they usually hear, okay, cool, I'm going to play this, but I'm not able to win. I don't think it's like that at all. I 100% believe you can take Turtles to an event and win, especially depending on what the list wants to do. That tree of fruit of might, or the fruit of the tree of might, is completely insane. The TP is really, really good. It also gives you another target for the fruit of the tree of might to slap that double strike on. It's really, really good, guys. Don't sleep on it. Be prepared to stop it. I always was never a believer of the Majin Vegeta for best of 3. For best of 1, yes, you'll catch some people off guard. Best of 3, not really. I still believe the best of 3 hand destruction deck will come in the form of Android 13. Because Android 13 is just utterly disgusting, especially when you just hit the nuts. It's really hard to come back from. It's one of the few leaders besides Cell, which you don't attack. One of the few leaders, okay, cool. If you do get the board, you still have answers to the board. So really, really solid in itself. Green, I don't really. I mean, yeah, I don't really see nothing else for green. I'm sorry about that one, all my green fans. So for black. Obviously speaking, well anticipating Vegeta to get banned. Well anticipating Dark Broly to get errata. Dark Broly, depends on what the errata is, will still be 100% hands down the best black deck there is. Now, Gogeta Zeno, aka Son Goku and Vegeta, will probably take the spot of Vegeta. But the thing about Gogeta Zeno itself, it's really, really, really easy to sideboard against Gogeta Zeno because Bandai made the mistake of making all of the Gogetas a 6-shot. So realistically speaking, in a sideboard, if Gogeta Zeno, it's like one of those same things where the blue decks, such as SS3, Starter Q that untaps, if they ever get really popular and starts to actually dominate a meta, it would be easy to sideboard against those decks. Because the Gogeta Zeno, all you have to do is slap together Mecha Gerbera and say Gogeta Zeno 6, and now all you have to worry about is the 6-drop. I mean, is the 1-drops. Now they do have the new evolved targets on it. Just understand they have the evolved targets. So hey, you deal with the 1-drops, they can't evolve because the 1-drops have to be on board in order for them to evolve over it. Dark, yes, Disaster Dan, you're correct. Sync Shenron is going to be good as well. Yeah, Sync Shenron 100% is going to be good as well, especially combined with the fact that you could play cards from the original Sync Shenron, such as Haze Shenron. It's really, really good. There's a card which is completely insane. It's one of those battle cards. I'm bad with the names because I haven't really been paying attention to the names. I just know what the effects do. there's that one Sing Shinron. Disaster Dan, you'll probably be able to let me know what the name of it is. That one Sing Shinron where you play it and you switch it to rest mode and you bring out the other Sing Shinron and that one attacks and it works whatever is on board and it resends at the end. That is a nasty, disgusting combo, dude. Like disgusting, man. Disaster Dad, you gotta let me know what the name of those cards are, bro. I'm really bad with those Sing Shinrons because it's a lot to read. The one thing about Sing Shinron that I saw, I'm not gonna lie, when I do play against the deck, I feel like Toa is a trap because I'm not sure if Toa is the correct unison for a deck. Yes, you can, with that ult goes off, you're going to be in a really, really good spot. But I'm just not sure if Toa is the actual unison for that deck itself because it just sits there as a 10k body and does nothing the entire time. Yes, it gains marking, is all that good stuff, but it's just, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just not 100% sold that it is the unison for that deck. Yeah. Bristonin and the deck is nasty. I played it a couple times on Untap. That's probably the most popular set 14 deck that I face constantly on Untap because people just love to play that deck and it's really, really good. Let's see. So for black, we'll have 100% Dark Pearl. Will still be there. We'll have the Gogeta Zeno and we'll have Sing Shinron. Another deck you guys really want to pay attention to is going to be this Dark Power Black. I'm saying it's the reboot one. So with this, it all depends on what the ban list is because me, honestly speaking, the things I can see go is not only this leader, but the entire Vegeks chain. Because I don't know if you guys paid attention to what I said in the last Team Talks videos, but realistically speaking, even with a Vegeks ban to itself, 1, 2, 3, and the unison will still see play. And this is going to go into the next best Black Saiyan leader that's not Vegeks because you can no longer play Vegeks. So it all depends on it. But even if these don't get hit, I still think that the crit reboot of the Mass Saiyan is gonna be insane. Because realistically speaking, you'll have access to, well, once again, this is all of the cards we have right now because we don't know what can happen. They can just say, hey, Kais and Champas, whatever it is, it could be hit. But if it's not hit, you just slap in a bunch of double strikes to gain both effects. You'll get the black cards, obviously, and you'll get the red cards because the red will kick in and give you, I believe, the critical, or it gives you the extra boost. I'm sorry, it gives you the extra boost, and the black will give you the critical, which would be 100% insane. Be very vigilant in that deck. That deck is nasty. If Vegeks did get hit, that would be, and I was playing Vegeks, and I plan on playing Vegeks, that would be the deck that I would gravitate towards next. Because the big thing with that deck is that other black things don't do, that other black Saiyan leaders do not do and cannot account for, is the fact that turn 0, you can mill. Once again, turn 0, you can mill. But Vegeks is currently the only Black Saiyan deck that you can mill turn 0. And that's why I keep telling people that is what makes that deck insane. Yes, you have a bunch of other great stats, but you being able to win the die roll, mill, and not mill optimal, and you have another chance on your next turn, it's completely insane with Vegeks. You could do the same thing with the reboot Mass Saiyan itself. Disaster Dan says only reason why I'd have to play Toa is because your searcher. I guess, but Disaster Dan, can you see what I'm saying though? Because once your opponent awakens, doesn't Toa just feel like subpar? It's just like, well, damn. If Toa was 15, I would say perfect. The fact that it stays at 10, it's subpar because it's like, okay, cool. Your opponent will never try to attack the Toa because obviously speaking, your leader's gonna block it and the Toa's gonna get a marker, right? So they'll just attack face 24/7, which is rough because it's like, well, how am I gonna get this Toa to get to 7 and get the ult off? And that's the awkward position it's in. At least if it was 15, it would be, in my opinion, it would be exactly what it needed because you would, as an opponent, you would have to deal with the Toa because the Toa will end up destroying you because you can't interact with Unison. You see what I'm saying? But the Toa is lackluster only in terms of its attack power. 10k was rough, but realistically speaking, Bandai must have saw something because it was 15k. I think that deck would be a problematic deck, but the fact that it's 10k, it just I'm swinging face every single time. Like I'm just okay, swing, swing, swing. You can either seek identity to clear a board and swing. Like I never had to attack Toa Unison because I know at the end of the day that Toa Unison is not really a threat to me, and that's the biggest thing I found every single time I played against it. But you're right, you do have advantages of playing Toa Unison because it does have some synergy with the deck. You're 100% correct on that. Yeah, guys. Let's see. For black. Once again, Gogeta Zeno 6. Gogeta Zeno 6. Oh, where's the other one? I'm trying to show you guys something. It's a point I'm trying to make. And then, obviously, it's the same one, Gogeta Zeno 6. The same one as the one I just showed you previously. And the other one right here, Gogeta Zeno 6. So a card highly recommend you guys pick up on is going to be the what's his face? This guy right here, bro. The Broken Steel. Two reasons. If these things go, if a lot of these decks get hit, and Red Broly somehow survives, doesn't get a bot hit or doesn't get anything hit, you can still use this to stop their chain. So realistically speaking, if you were to out a Red Broly chain, let's say they were awakened and then you know you're gonna out it. You have let's say a secret identity black or a secret identity Mass Saiyan, right? So you're gonna overwhelm it, you're gonna warp it. So what you would do first is go ahead and play the Mecha Bear, the Broken Seal. You would call Broly BR4, and then you would out the Broly chain. So the leader would proc, they would have to discard one card. Now they can't go to the 4, so now they would are forced to go to the 3. You see what I'm saying? Which is awkward for them because now they're always gonna have a 4 in their hand because they understand, hey, if my stuff gets removed, I could still play the 4. But the fact that now you have to go to the 3 and then you're stuck on the 3 because you can't even go up the chain, is just super awkward for them and it's super unofficial, super not beneficial for them to do. For black decks, you still want to hold on to Violent Rays because those 30Ks coming out will put in work. If those people who want to play Kidku or the Gogeta Zeno who are playing with the Unison just to spam out the 1-drops and then just go to the evolves and swing, the Violent Rays will still hurt. Violent Rays is still good. Still a card you want to pick up on. Don't go crazy and break your wallet on Violent Rays because don't forget, Violent Rays, all those stuff, they are getting that reprint. So take it easy. If you're able to get it for a deal, get it for a deal. Mecha Bear allows you to do something different. I'm not sure if Bandai is going to give Mecha Bear an opportunity to compete because currently Mecha Bear is as good as a deck as it wants to be. It is utterly impossible to compete with decks such as King Vegeta, such as decks like Dark Broly, such as decks like the decks that are coming out and firing all cylinders. It is utterly impossible to stop him when your play that you want to do to stop relies on the form of you leaving 2 energy open for a Poutine that can easily be answered. Another black deck that I want to say is underrated. I just put the deck profile up on today's Team free upload video today is going to be the Supreme Paratime. This deck is nasty. This deck can fire all cylinders unawakened and hit you with straight crit, and it awakens and hits you with straight 30Ks, which is completely insane. Be on the lookout for this deck. Like I said before, I said it in the beginning, this is going to be a deck that ends up like Dark Broly, where at the beginning it came out, people just overlooked it, but as time goes by, it's going to find a perfect opportunity to come into the meta and just slaughter people because it's a really good my bad. One of the team members just texted me. It's a really good deck, man. Do not sleep on it. Do not sleep on it at all. Let's look at the infamous yellow. So, if this bad boy goes to once per turn on both sides, yeah. A lot of people are making memes about the new Goku being the new Vegeta. It's not even close. But I see the joke, I guess you guys are saying. Yes, it's a cool option that Yellow gets now, but it's not even close. It's not going to come anywhere close to what Vegeta was. You will still have access to things like Yellow Gotenks. Yellow Gotenks will always be a deck. It draws a lot of cards. You have a plethora of ways to build a deck. You can abuse it with Blue Yellow itself, especially if Bean stays. It's a lot of things you can do with it itself. Disaster Dance at 2-drop, Mass Saiyan Unison from set 14 will probably be better. Yeah. I think you're talking about the Bardock one, the 15K one, yeah, especially against other black decks, because that, especially at neck 2, it's completely insane. But yeah, 100%, that's what I was talking about. But it doesn't have, it's like you said before, where Toa has a synergy because you do get extra benefits from playing Toa in the deck itself. Because with the mass saying, you can't really do that. But yeah, it's just that 10k attack is what makes it very awkward to play. Very, very awkward to play. But you were spot on, like I said earlier. It's just, I guess you just pick your poison. Yeah, but like we were saying before, yellow Gotenks. Another deck that I want to harp on too. It depends on what they do to Dark Broly. But there is that, where's that Android 17 deck? The one that just ships everything to drop and plays things from. Is it this? I'm not sure. There's one that, like, when it gets revived, you get to negate the skills of some. It's, I forgot what it was. There's an Android 17 deck that came out. I believe it's in set 13. I'm not sure if it's this. I never paid attention to what the actual leader looked like. I just know it might be this. This Android 17 deck, it's really, really annoying, guys. It depending on what happens to the meta, it would be something you watch out for. Still, you would want to watch out for Sync Shinron. Because Sync Shinron, 100%, I hope, to the Dragon Ball gods, Cell gets an errata to a specific cost. Like, you have to have at least pay 1 green and 1 yellow. I don't want to kill the card. You can still bring it on turn 2. I have no problem with it as long as you're paying 1 green and 1 yellow. That's perfectly fine for me. But the fact that it could come out just for absolutely free is just completely insane. And it's heartbreaking as a player to do everything correctly and calculate for everything, but then you just lose because, hey, my opponent has this, followed up by a pan that says, okay, cool, just in case I want to kill you a turn earlier, besides wait for turn 3 to just swift retaliation cooler you, I can restand it and swing again. It's really, really nerve wracking to face that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just a quick run through. It's really rough to judge the meta currently speaking because we don't have the ban list. So once we have the ban list, we could go really, really into depth. The one deck I can say it's just going to be the best hands down in the color itself is going to be these two. It's going to be King Kong. It's going to be King Vegeta. The other ones it's really hard to tell because once again, and Dark Broly obviously because the black cards already came out and trust me, those black cards gave Dark Broly a boost that it highly needed, like since the last set. If it had it last set, those problematic cards such as the Vegeta Unison of Fury and all those other cards wouldn't have been an issue. But it's here finally, and we just got to see what the errata does to it, and hopefully we can still do our thing with it. Those 3 colors are good. Blue, I have no idea what's going to take blue spot. There's a lot of hype behind Gogeta Zeno. Guys, if your deck cannot handle highly aggressive decks, Gogeta Zeno can put more damage than the latest Vegeks, not the old Vegeks that just swing, but the latest Vegeks, like this one with the one draw, like the one draw fighting spirits, obviously the regular chain, the unison, the Vegeta, the leader sling. This Gogeta Zeno deck can put pressure on just like that. In a blink of an eye, they can put pressure on you like crazy. Yes, they'll be tapped, but really speaking, if they win a Dairos, you'll be like at 1 or 2 life. Their hand will be fat, and it'll be tapped out, but you'll be at 1 or 2 life. So have a deck that you know you can defend with, because if you're not able to defend, that deck will wreck you. I'm just being honest with you. That deck is a highly aggressive deck. The only thing with that deck is you have to, I guess, pray to Dragon Ball God that you hit your pieces in the warp. But that deck is really, really good, really, really aggressive. Let's see if we have any questions on here. Just to make my son is waking up. Sync aggro or sync defense? Sync aggro will always be the preferred thing because it's hard to defend, especially once again winning the Dairo. A Celzino coming at you, backed up with that pan that restands the Celzino. Now, let's say you wait till turn 3, which is the correct way to do it, and let your opponent negate. Now you swift retaliation cooler. It's really hard to combat that, my man. I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing about the control sin is good. I'm not saying it's a bad deck because there's certain things. There's certain decks in this game will never be control sin. But the thing about aggro sin, you will never allow your opponent to get to the stage they want to get to in order to progress their game state because they're constantly defending. Because once they hit that 4 life mark, which is completely hard to defend without just burning your entire hand, it's game over for you. Like the aggro Sin just provides you an option that not a lot of decks can do in this game. Besides, I want to say Rewood Gohan is probably the only other deck that can do that. That can say, "Hey, you're at this life. You're at 3 life. You're dead." Sin says, "If you're at 4 life, you're dead, dude. Like you're dead." They can literally wait till turn 3 and just so retaliation cooler. Because the only thing you can do is negate. So if retaliation cooler, swing. If somehow you want to combo that, you found a flasher, you did whatever it is, cool. Resend it with Pant and swing again. Like that deck is nasty, man. It's really, really rough. You gotta walk me through SS2 Blue Gohan. SS2 Blue Gohan is really, really good. I literally say it is the blue Dark Broly. Like it's the blue Dark Broly. Let me put it this way: you give up an extra 10k on your slings, but you gain God Sealing. God Sealing is really, really, really. I cannot express how good God Sealing is without sounding like I'm just trying to be fake. Like that card is really good. It had me debating on playing. If Dark Broly were to get banned, which is not going to get banned, this is why I would never make the switch. If Dark Broly were to get banned, though, I'd probably switch to the SS2 Gohan. The reason why I never made the switch over is because Dark Broly not only does it have the extra 10k, my guys have abilities that are very unique to the game where I can respond to any situation my opponent puts me on, doesn't matter what turn it is. If you try to turn one, have a problematic card on me, I can literally warp it with Berserker. Whereas skill is, you can do it to an extent because you have the Gohan that'll tap an energy, but the thing is, it has an energy restriction that has to be 3 or less, and that's the rough part about it. But if those skillers had man, skillers is good. I'm not saying it's good. Just because I'm saying this, I'm not saying skillers is bad. Skillers is a great, great deck. The thing about skills that I really, really respect is the fact that when you drop your Gohan, you use the Zeno Unison, 100% use the Zeno Unison. When you drop your Gohan, guys, it's going to be game wrecking because of God Sealing. And this is why I love that deck with a burning passion. Let's say if you're going against Black. Going against Black, they have 2 options, right? They can either brainwash you, which is 100% incorrect, or they can Supreme Kai time you, which is correct, but they're going to get punished. The reason being they're going to get punished is they'll Supreme Kai negate it. They'll play the Supreme Kai, expecting to warp the Gohan, but God Sealing comes down and bounces it. Now, that effect will not go off because it never was in play. So, the Gohan will restand, it'll clear the entire board, and they tapped out for that last, for the, to defend the attack, they're just dead. So now they're going to have another negate in their hand. But realistically speaking, this is what's going to happen. If they just bean, they can have another Gohan, which is going to be completely, utterly insane. That's what I'm telling you. SS2 Gohan has a lot going for it. But Dark Broly just has... I would venture to say Dark Broly has a better overall spread. But the one thing that Dark Broly doesn't have, I'm not gonna lie to you, it doesn't have a God Sealing. We have a Super Kamehameha, but a God Sealing, being able to answer anything, it's good, guys. It's really good. Not only that, being able to have access to a Senzu Bean for a turn 3 Gohan it's really, really good. I'm not even trying to lie to you. It's a good deck. Do not sleep on it. You will be able to accrue your hand size with the Zeno because you won't be able to charge energy anymore. Just pick it off of your leader. Your hand size will be good. You are weak to hand destruction. That's something Dark Broly does not have an issue to. So 100% in best of 3, have the Deborahs in your sideboard. As Dark Broly, I don't care. If you want to discard my hand, that's fine. I'll just play my guy, shoot a drop, and kill you through there. Like I personally don't care through hand destruction. But it's a really, really good deck. If you want to play something that was Dark Broly, but you do not want to play Dark Broly, play that deck. Being 100% honest with you. Yeah, Bracing Time. If you want to, there's a video. I think Matthew Coombs, he got top 4 with it. Check it out. He did a good job of explaining it. Since Zeno's place in the meta is solely dependent on if Dark Broly and Projects get hit, in my opinion. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think 100% Dark Broly's not gonna get banned. Rada's coming. Don't know what the Rada is, but Jax, that's a deck that might finally rest in peace. But yeah, if you're playing Sin, Zeno, and you're going against Dark Broly, scoop it up, B. This game, I don't care what you're trying to do, just scoop it up. It's just not gonna happen. Seeing what struggle against Meki lead. Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is you have access to Super Kamehameha. Like Black Sun Demon, tell me what are your thoughts behind why you think it should struggle? Because the thing about Poutine versus Black Decks, Super Command, it shuts that deck down. Like it really shuts it down. If they get to turn 4 and they tap out turn 4 trying to kill you and they can't kill you, the crackback that Sync's gonna give you is gonna be insane. Let's see. You basically try to win by mill. I'm not sure. Let's see. Or if 4 drop gets hit on board has barrier. Yeah, I was referring to the currency. Oh, the Cell Zeno deck. Oh yeah, the Cell Zeno deck is it's I see what you're saying now. You're correct. Ba, 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 ba. Hey, we're gonna have more of the guys one on Friday because we took like a 2 week break because I was super busy with work, working like 60-hour weeks, which is really rough. But yeah, it's finally back. Team talks are finally back. So we'll have the other guys starting on Friday. So the guy from my locals was like, D-Bro is not an auto win against Zeno. Dark World hits everything. And yeah, that guy snapped. That guy's smoking that good stuff, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That guy smoking that good stuff, B. That's really funny. But yeah, I don't see anything else. I'll do closing comments for tonight, and then after that, I'll catch up on any other last minute questions, comments, and concerns that you guys might have. My closing comments are: do not be scared to pick up cards that you see people are trying to offload. I understand a lot of people are scared and they're offloading these things for the low, like for super low. Just have situational awareness. If you see there's cards, like for instance, right? I saw a playset of the event pack dormants going for like I think $60. I said, "What? $60?" I'd have instantly. I don't even play green, but I would have instantly been it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Those dormants are 100% they're safe because if you look at the spectrum, the last ban list, they banned Roshi because they didn't want you to loot dormants. Now they created a plethora of dormants that are available for you. So if you use that logic, you know dormant potential is safe. Same thing with things such as a lot of people are getting ready to go G to TPs as well. I'm like, bro, if you want to sell it for the low, sell it for the low and I'll pick it up. Like literally, I was picking those things up like it's hot. I picked like at least 3 places I picked up on the Gogeta Zenos. I'm about to pick up 2 more actually because I seen 2 for like I think who was it? I'm not gonna put it up on here. I guess someone's gonna ban it. But I seen 2 for the low, and I'm probably gonna pick those up as well. You gotta look at certain things. Like when new cards come out, it's the tendency to hit those cards are not high at all. Like I said, it only happened one time, and that was the E-ban list because it was just causing ridiculous shenanigans within the Project world in itself. But other than that, man, really pick up any cards you want to do, even if it's trade bait. If it's cards that came on the collectors, if it's cards that are getting reprinted, if it's cards that are the King Piccolo New Ruler, guys, if that thing doesn't get limited or doesn't get banned, and you pick these up where people are selling like 3 for like 40, you're gonna be rich. Like that thing's gonna go right back up. Don't forget, Piccolo, the New Ruler, is like a $40 card. Yes, a lot of people are anticipating to get limited, but if it does not get limited, guess what? It's going to happen to the card again. Just like that. It's little safe investments like that. So if you have extra, I'm not saying to pick you guys up with cash, but you have extra cards that like, hey, you may not need, let's say you have 2 play sets of, I don't know, the Event Pack God Ceilings or whatever it is, and something is equal value and you can pick these cards up, go ahead and pick it up, man. Do that to yourself and reap the benefits afterwards. Disaster Dan says, Ravager kills your hand. Red Broly crits, your leader having blocker means something to Heartfelt. Yeah, Heartfelt Plea is another thing that people are scared of, people are trying to get rid of for the Lolo. Yeah, think about it. Heartfelt Plea got a revision pack reprint. Heartfelt Plea got the collector's binder reprint. Heartfelt Plea is not going anywhere. Heartfelt Plea is going to be good. The way you can address Heartfelt, the only deck playing Heartfelt Plea right now anyway is literally Dark Broly. The way to address that is if you do not let Dark Broly play any battle card that is not red, and you are good to go, in my opinion. So it's stuff like that where if you think about it, you're able to say, okay, cool, this is a safe investment. And in worst case scenario, let's say, for instance, like me, I picked up a playset of new rulers as well. I'm like, bro, these guys snap. It's like a place for, I think it was 45 shipped. I'm like, bro, what? It's like one of these things back in the day was like $39.99. So $5 extra to get it shipped, whatever it is. I'm like, I place it for 45 ship, bet. Like, if this thing don't get banned, I super plus. So they're gonna shoot right back up. But if it does get even limited, whatever it is, it gets banned, whatever it is. All right, cool. It's like I just bought one at regular price. I personally don't care. I'm like, it's fine with me. Um, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, exactly. Vanda doesn't like that. So, like I said, I'll have some more guys with me on Friday. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We are back on schedule, and we'll try to make this live like we were last time. Wednesdays, probably starting after the banners. I don't want to do it now. Wednesdays will be probably viewer battles as long as team battles. So I have my guys on there. Anyone who needs credit, they'll probably battle out with each other. And those people who don't need credit, they'll just sit there and battle out with you guys. So if you guys want to battle out with a certain player on Wednesdays when I post the team talks are going to go up, please tag the player so they're aware that you want to come on and play them. And I'll obviously give them some credit for jumping on and giving me their time. But be sure to tag the player you want to play, because if you do not tag the player you want to play, you are going to play the players that join the session for that night. Because thinking about team talks, they're probably going to be 3 people max. So if those 3 people join and it's not one of the 3 people that you wanted to see, it's not going to be a player that you want to play. It's just not it for you for that night. But besides that, guys, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys on Friday, and take it easy, guys.